Hello everyone and welcome back to another math video. Today we're going to be talking about exponent rules for dividing, so similar to the problems you see up on the screen here. Just a reminder, this is the normal version. If you want the speedrun version where we go through it pretty quickly, I'll link that in the description below. For your Ricasso Recap, you should already know how to work with negative exponents. If you want a refresher on this, there will be a video in the description below. Please go watch that before you start this lesson. All right, new lesson starts now. So here we have a fraction, a division problem with exponents and numbers. And so it says to simplify and express with positive exponents. We're going to do this positive exponents thing at the very end. So for this one, I'm going to give you the answer. Okay, the correct answer is 2c to the 12th power. And if you want to pause the video, see if you can figure out how did I come up with this answer. Okay. If you want to pause your video, go ahead and try it on your own. And for those of you who just want to enjoy the show, the answer is coming in 3, 2, 1. So the way I got this answer, maybe you figured it out, I divided the regular numbers. 10 divided by 5 gave me the 2 right here. Okay. And the way I got the 12 is I subtracted the exponents. So I always tell students, think of the division bar in the middle as a giant subtraction sign for exponents. So it's saying 8 minus, that's the big bar in the middle, negative 4. And so this is the same as 8 plus 4, which is 12. And that's how I end up with the positive 12 for the exponent of c. And notice the fraction bar goes away. I mean, technically this is over 1, but everything is just on the top here. And so this is our final answer of 2c to the 12th. Divide the regular numbers, subtract the exponents. All right, here's our cool clock for today, which means that it's time for you to practice what you just learned. Go ahead and pause the video and try these two problems on your own. And when you're ready, you can unpause the video and we'll check your answers. Okay, now that you've had time to work these problems, let's check your solutions. Okay, for the first problem, you should have gotten 1r to the 7th, s to the 4th. And normally we don't write an invisible 1 in the front here. So normally this would be written as r to the 7th, s to the 4th. We know there's a 1 there, we just don't usually write it. Okay, and for the second problem, you should have gotten 3q to the 4th power, r to the 1st, s to the 1st. You got q to the 4th because you did negative 1 minus negative 5, which gives you positive 4. And remember, there are invisible 1s here. Okay, so if you don't see an exponent, there's a 1. And again, we don't normally write 1s in our answer for the exponents as well, so this would normally just be 3q to the 4th rs. This would be how I would expect to see the answer written. All right, so let's try this problem. Here we do 8 divided by 2, which is 4. You do 2 minus negative 1 for the v's. So for the v, you do 2 minus negative 1, which is 3. So v to the 3rd. And then for the w's, we do, and you always go top to bottom, negative 1 minus 1, because there's an invisible 1 here, which is negative 2. So now we're getting w to the negative 2. And it says to write your answer with positive exponents only, no negative exponents. We don't normally leave negative exponents. So how do you make this exponent positive? Well, we should know already from the previous lesson that the way we make exponents positive is we switch it from top to bottom or bottom to top. So in this case, this is all over 1. So my final answer is going to be 4v cubed. These don't move because they don't have the negative exponent. The only part that has the negative exponent is the w. Okay, so the w moves down and it becomes positive. And now this is the final answer. I mean, there's a 1 there. Again, don't have to write it. This just looks neat like this. All right, time to practice. Go ahead and pause the video. Try these two on your own. When you're ready, unpause and we'll check your answers. Okay, now you've had time to work these problems. Let's check your solutions. Okay, for the first problem here is the work and the final answer. Again, notice that I've dropped off any invisible 1s. You can put the 1s if you want to. And for the second problem here is the work and final answer. Should have gotten 1 over t to the 4th u, or u to the 1st power. All right, last problem here. So again, we do 9 divided by 9, which is 1. For the t, we do 2 minus 1, which is 1. So we have t to the first power. Now for the u's, you'll notice that it's a 1 and a 1. So it's 1 minus 1, which is 0. So we're getting u to the 0 power, and you'll get the same thing for the v's, v to the 0 power. So whenever you have something to the 0 power, it just becomes a big 1, okay? So it just becomes a big 1. Not an exponent of 1, the letters disappear, okay? So now you just, multiply your 3 1s together. That gives me 1t to the first power. And again, let's clean it up and write it without the 1s. So the final answer here is just t, okay? Just t, all that to simplify down into t. All right, time to practice. Go ahead and pause the video, try these last 2 problems on your own. When you're ready, unpause and we'll check your answers. Okay, now that you've had time to work these problems, let's check your solutions. Okay, for the first problem here is the work. Your final answer should have been 5 over k squared, or k to the second power. And for the second problem here is the work. Should have ended up with 3u squared over v cubed. All right, that's it for today. I hope you all have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.